Yes, we are live once again. Hold on, should I put on the disclaimer?
Yeah, you gotta put on the disclaimer.
Oh shit. Unless you count some of our hosts' lack of decency and bad jokes. Have we defined which one of us is lack of decency and which one of us is bad jokes?
You, obviously.
Well, I get both. I get both
Yeah,
places.
yeah. You get both distinctions. Congratulations. You know what I'm
All I'm
saying?
doing is missing one more triple C. God damn it!
Your trophy's on the way. No te preocupes.
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to mix in with everything else in the background. Let me put up my locks in. Yeah, I got the bolitero status going on. I'm just missing some numbers on the palm of my hand. Here we are once again. We're not in shoot the shit. We're in art about stuff. That's right. Read it down there, somewhere around there. It's going by. It's going by. And I'm just here as an unspecial guest or a special pain in the ass.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but on the real, I'm here to learn about whatever it is John's bringing us today. He always brings us some interesting stuff about art. Let's see what it is. John, what's good, man?
No doubt. Chilling, chilling.
I
First,
can have my cafe.
please have your coffee.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you, sir.
First and foremost, thanks for having me again, and happy Inktober to you, my friend.
Dude, thanks for having me. This is your segment, baby.
You're
This is your
welcome.
segment.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You
I
better
appreciate
fucking represent.
it. And speaking of representing, happy Inktober. Is that time of year. A lot of people don't know about it, but it is a very fun fake holiday. Um,
There's a
so
lot of that here in Ohio.
in this country,
Like Friendship
period.
Day and Sweetheart Day, and it's like y'all
t-
don't sell enough for Valentine's. What?
I forgot if it was yesterday or today, but it's throw a short person day where you're allowed to pick up somebody that's below 5'4". You don't need their permission. You can just grab them and throw them. Joey, Google it later. I'm dead ass right now. But listen,
Things like that
Inktober.
warm my heart. I
Yeah.
swear.
So Inktober, for those that don't know, it was created by Jake Parker. He's an artist. He created it in 2009 as a challenge to improve his inking skills and generally to develop positive drawing habits. And it just completely just blew up. It caught like
Question:
wow.
what
Mhm.
do you consider a positive drawing habit?
To draw basically. Like if you draw once a year, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? And I know we're adults, we got bills, we got kids, this and this, but um, that's rust that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So
So what do you think about those artists that, yeah, I wait for the muse, and I only do it when the muse is here.
mm, for big drawings or drawings I consider important enough, okay, I'll give you that. But even if the muse isn't there, sketch, doodle, draw a circle, draw a triangle. You gotta. This movement can never stop, yo. And that's when it comes to positive drawing habits. In my opinion, that's top of the list. Period, bar none.
So as far as graffiti is concerned, tagging up is not vandalism. It's a good drawing habit.
You didn't hear it
That's
from
how
me,
we're
but
gonna remember it.
I
Continue.
mean, if you want to take that and run with it, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. So yeah, so he started it and it just became its own thing, and people have been doing it since 2009. And it's simple, basically, make or show one drawing per day for the entire month of October. So that's 31 drawings. Go to my Facebook page. I've been doing it since October 1st. I'm down to drawing number 7, and nice little thing is there, so that's cool. But
It's
yeah,
nice
just
to
want to
know
get
you're hard at work during the day.
the what?
It's nice to know you're hard at work during the day.
I mean, you gotta work smart, not hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what do we have for today besides Inktober?
So besides
That's what we're
Inktober,
doing today, Inktober?
no. Inktober is just a little side note, just a little fun fact, and just to show people where we at. You know what I'm saying at this time. But where we at today is just things and concepts that most people generally consider to be part of the modern era, but it's already been done by fine art, and
What do
in
you
a lot
mean?
of cases, centuries ago. Um, So yeah, let's just jump right into it. You know, I'll give you examples. I'll show you pictures. We'll
You're
make
gonna
it
share
very.
your screen?
We make it. Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna share my screen. And 1 second here. Okay. Boom. All right. Cool. Now,
No, cool. We can't see it.
boom. You see that?
No.
No. Let me see. Okay. Never mind.
That gremlin's hitting hard.
That gremlin is hitting
Well,
hard.
while you pull it up, why don't you tell us in words what it is that you're looking?
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right.
Oh,
You
there
should.
it goes. Okay.
All right. So
That's when I want you to talk.
one of the one of the most annoying things that has been
Besides
happening ever
me?
since the what?
Besides me?
Besides you,
Okay.
one of the most annoying things that have been happening since social media became a thing is like you know how people take pictures of their food and they feel
I
they
was
always
just about to ask you, do you have the right fucking dad that you're showing us? This fucking food here.
right. Yeah, surprise! This is the secret foodie episode I didn't tell you about. No, no, no. So
Okay.
no, no, no. This is So yeah, people take pictures of their food. They put stupid little filters and shit, and they put it all over Facebook, all over Snapchat. I've done it a few times. I'm guilty of it, but some people take it to an extreme. So that is something that has been done basically for the longest time, and not just with like still lifes and shit. Um, so for example, look at this one here. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. I know you're a sucker for glass. That should look tight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is
That is
called
painted, right?
that is painted. That's oil. I did my
Can
research.
you zoom in a bit? I'm
Yeah.
sorry to
No, you're good.
it's just my man. That's
That's sick. I know.
ooh wee.
Mira eso,
Ooh.
that's sick. Makes
Yes,
me
I'm
wanna.
a sucker for glass. The way they do that, and it's taking a shade darker if everything around it is still within the same, chromatic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And look at the silver. Almost wants to make you like stand up and go polish that shit,
Okay,
right?
now question. Was the artist a real asshole and put a reflection of himself in one of the glasses?
I I checked,
Woo,
but I don't think he did. No.
woo, man.
So let me give you some history. This one is
Yeah.
called the Black Currant Pie. So this is the main one here, by Willem Klaes. And
Do you
William
have a
Klaes,
year?
huh?
A year roundabout?
Uh, that was the 1600s. Yeah, it was a while back. He so this guy William Klaes, you want to talk about taking food pics? He devoted himself exclusively to the painting of still life, so drawing things like this. And not only that, but he's literally known for the innovation of like starting this genre of like breakfast food still life paintings. Like he has another one here where the gremlins are hitting hard today.
Okay, now if he actually had those things in front of him
Hmm.
while he did it, I imagine he went for the pie first because la cosa se pudren. They start, you know what I mean? They start going bad and shit.
Yeah, I would imagine that too. And there's a reason that it looks. Did you notice with that painting? I'll put it back up here. But did you notice how it the glass is half full? The pie was like chunks of it were taken out.
Somebody was hungry.
Somebody was hungry, but the reason he did that was it symbolizes that like the things come to pass, the transience of things. The lemon is peeled and cut in half. The thing is half empty, etc. So things start one way, but they end up another. Nothing lasts forever. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically what he was trying to do. And I will show you one
So
more.
he was in a dark state when he did it.
I think so. Well,
Well, it is pretty dark, like the actual colors itself.
exactly. And yeah, that's kind of his thing. A lot of his pieces are like that. Do you see this one?
I see a whole bunch of stuff.
What do you see?
File. I think you're sharing the wrong tab.
I think I'm sharing the wrong tab. Hold on. I know. I know. I should have practiced more.
Yeah, I would say Tech Gremlins again, but
No, no, that's all me. All right, you should see that now.
I like the other one better.
I do like the other one better too. Yeah, but this is just showing that this was his thing.
I mean, don't get it twisted. The straw used for the wicker and the reflections of things inside the silver look really nice. You know,
Yep.
it's not easy to pay attention to those details.
Yeah, that's true.
When
And
you
also this one was actually made by a different gentleman, Francisco de Zurbarán. It's called Still Life with Lemons, Oranges, and a Rose. Not the most creative title. And if we focus on the symbolism on this one, we're literally gonna stay here all week. It's like all over the fucking place because he was vague and he let people just decide on their own. And it's like um, everyone has a different thing. Some people say that the things here are a symbolic of offering to the Virgin Mary. Her purity and chastity are signified by the rose in the glass of water. The lemons are Easter fruit. The table is a symbolic altar, etc., etc. Like it's all over the fucking place. It's ridiculous.
Well, okay, let me ask you a quick question. When we talk about symbolisms of a painting,
Yeah.
it's the artist that puts it, this means this means that. Where if you didn't have an interview with that artist at the time, you won't know what the hell he meant with it, or is it just what people people just see what they want to see? You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, okay, we see it a lot in movies, and they exaggerate a bit, but they are making a criticism where it's like, okay, you have an all black canvas, you have one purple dot, and somebody stands there and goes, he is talking about the suffering of the people in northeast Russia and the capitalist oppression of, and it's like, where in the fuck do you get all of that from a purple dot on a black? You know what I mean? Now, if the like I said, if the artist himself says, look, you know what, this means this means that. The purple means, the dress that somebody had on that took me out of the funk that I was in, and blah blah. Okay, but just somebody who wasn't able to speak to the artist because they've been dead for 300, 400 years, how is it that you actually come across pulling that out, that supposed meaning?
It depends, but normally it could be like you say, the artist already said, "Oh, this symbolizes X," or it could be at the time such and such symbol was already culturally recognized as representing X. So, like for example,
Like in the 1700s, on any shield or anything that had to do with kingdoms and stuff like that, any papers of nobility, a greyhound meant royalty.
exactly, yeah,
So you could bring in these papers with a long list of lineage, but if there's no greyhounds, then you never really held a throne.
exactly, yeah, exactly. And also how like nowadays, whenever you see the color red, you always think anger, you always think passion.
Now, did that change during
Yeah,
the years, or has it always been like a? There's always been like a standard.
it's
This
just
is
like
this, yeah.
it's just like fashion. It comes and goes. There are some things that are universal and or timeless, I should say, and will never change. They've always been the same. There are some things where one day it represents this thing, but a few years later it represents another. Like for example, do you remember back?
Well, then how
Um,
can you actually keep track? I'm sorry, is it how can you actually keep track of what X or Y artist meant to come across with that painting?
Comparing it to
If
other
anything.
pieces, right? Comparing it to other pieces and comparing it to the historical context of the time. So, like for example, there'll be a period of time where you look at all the paintings in a 10-year period from like 100 different painters, and you're like, okay, all the kings, all the paintings of Jesus, all the paintings of Virgin Mary, they always have blue. What is up with that? You do a little research, and what do you find out? that shade of blue at that time was super mega expensive because of X reason. Therefore, all the important people are going to have that shade of blue. Just like that. And that's just one basic example out of like a million, to be honest. And like you were saying, things have changed. Like, it used to be frowned upon to have patches on your pants. That's like symbol of the poor. You got patches and shit. And do you remember how like in the 90s and early 2000s that was like the shit? You got the patches of the basketball teams on your jeans and shit. So like, la vaina cambia, yo. It's not. It's one thing one time, but then it's subject to change. You never know. But at the same time, there are some things that are universal. Red is always going to represent passion and anger. Period. At least in Western society, but that's usually it. And so yeah, it just depends on those things, to be honest.
Doesn't it mean prosperity somewhere?
Yeah, in China and most East Asian countries, red is prosperity. So if I give you, if we live in China and I give you an envelope that's red, that shit got money in it. Ya tú lo sabes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's my red envelope?
So anyway, this next picture here. So, all right. So that's basically, what it comes to food pictures. That's just been done. Still lives. It was started by that one dude I mentioned, and
Well, I mean, this is just an opinion.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they be able to be held in the same category if it's the chef that actually took the picture of it? Not that you went and you paid somebody to cook your food and you spewed shit on the table for a half hour till it gets there, and then you're gonna take a picture. Ooh, look how pretty. You didn't do nothing but eat it and shit it.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it could be held in the same standard. Yeah, if it's pretty, it's pretty. No doubt, take a picture. But to constantly be doing that, unless you're a food critic or you're the one that actually made it, it's kind of senseless.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not you made that black currant pie, that fucking artist killed it. So.
Yeah, you can have the same argument with, oh, you made a nice painting, but did you buy that at the store or did you make that painting? It adds another layer of what makes that piece more special or more close to heart for the person or the viewer even. But I don't think it's necessarily like required.
So kind of like how you view MMA. You have your fans, you have your casuals.
Exactly. You have if I can
be considered the casuals.
If I can take it a step further, you have your casuals, you have your fans, and you have your actual practitioners. Because
that's just a whole nother. That's the chef itself.
That's what I'm saying. That's the head chef, bro.
What else you got?
So moving on. So that's basically food picks. Now let's see.
Do you have more examples?
Nah, that'll do it. I mean, still lives. You've seen one, you've seen them all. You know what I'm saying? So
no, but like it's not just food. There's a lot of other things, not just the food selfies that are coming back from so long ago.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So we also have the notorious the selfie. You see this?
I see the page with a whole bunch of them.
Ah, damn it! Why do I keep doing that?
Yeah, we got you to curse on camera. I fucking love it.
I'm pretty sure I've done that before.
I know you've cursed off camera. All right, John.
Nice.
You need to practice a bit more.
Sí, es verdad, en serio.
And you're gonna show us the wrong one again?
No, I'm still working on it. No te preocupes. Pero me muestra solamente esa página, no entiendo. But it's okay. I know a way around it. I'm not tripping. So, one thing that has been plaguing human culture for the longest time is the selfie. People are literally getting killed over selfies. Like,
wait. What'd you say? Plaguing culture?
Plaguing?
Plaguing? But that's what you said.
I hope so. Shit. All right.
Plaguing human culture. Holy shit! Yeah, and that's the best. picture. Okay, yes, plaguing human culture. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You see the group picture, right?
It was just so wonderfully put.
Yeah, thank you. So, but that's just nothing new either, because you have the whole concept of the self-portrait. Now, okay, I can show you, self-portraits of people that paint themselves and shit, but I'm gonna make this a little special because there was a dude called Joseph Ducreux. All right, he was a
Why does that
success.
sound familiar?
He was a successful portraitist in the court of Louis of France. Um, and he was known as doing portraits, and especially his self-portraits, because he had an interest in the range of facial expressions. So he would do a lot of shit that was very unorthodox, for at least for the time. So, like, giving you two quick examples. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him.
One. No, I still see her duck facing.
Ah, okay. So, okay.
Hi, John.
No. You gotta take one out to put the other.
Guys, let me know. I'll share his email with you so you can all email him and tell him to get it right for the next time. Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Look what Josette posted right there in the comments. Planking.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh my goodness! I wish I didn't.
Do you see this guy?
That's him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's doing some Joshua Fabia type shit, man.
Yeah.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, Joshua Fabia is John's favorite coach.
No, that is a lie. That was uncalled for and unnecessary.
Oh shit, that was funny. John, come back. We'll applaud for you. Believe in fairies. He'll come back. Hey.
That was uncalled and unnecessary. I don't know what I like. Why you keep making him relevant, man?
Hey, if people can continue to make John Jones relevant, I should be able to do the same thing with Joshua Fabia. Okay?
Well, that's true.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
Joshua Fabia of the Renaissance Festival ever. Here we go.
So this dude, he was known for his portraits, but he was known for taking very unorthodox pictures of exploring the facial expressions, facial musculature, and all that. Here he has one stretching. Here he has another doing the pointing finger, and he has another one of him yawning and things like that, or being surprised. And it's the sort of thing that you didn't really see again until cameras came out, because portraits were very standard. You got the stern
they were always
face.
very stoic, very. I'm trying to shit a turd sideways.
Yeah, exactly. People didn't even.
Let me tell the people who are watching. Drawing a face, if you guys have tried it, that's one thing. Drawing the expression is another thing. Actually having whoever views that piece of art and understand the expression, the emotion when they see that face is fucking difficult as shit. Yep. If you don't believe me, just go out to any store, look at these ladies who have tattooed the eyebrows on their face. One expression. One. Because it's difficult to get something that, you know what I mean?
This is just frozen. I'm very surprised right now.
Still life, baby. A walking still life. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Now, the picture I showed you, though, the second one where he's pointing, that doesn't look, the one on the right, that doesn't look familiar to you at all? Okay.
You know what? Over here, I see it really small, but he looks like a painting that I've seen of Mozart.
Well, the fashion's similar, but the thing is, that became a very, very famous meme a few years ago, where you show that picture of him looking all pimping. I know you hate memes.
Why are you talking to me about memes?
No. We're about to play a game. Hold on. So you take that picture of him, right? And you take the lyrics of a song and put it extremely Shakespearean and complex for no reason. For example, have you seen these? So I want you to, starting with the left, read what it says, and I want you to guess what lyrics
Man,
are
on
those.
this side, it's really, really small here in the studio. You'll
You
probably
can't.
be able to see it.
All right, so I'll read it for you. On the left, it says, "Gentlemen, I inquire, who hath released the hounds?"
Really?
Come on, what is it?
Yeah, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? My God, you're so smart, Joey. So the one in the middle, remove thyself from mine path, wench. Step aside, step aside.
You know what? He looks the farthest thing from Luda, but I would have loved to have seen them both in the
Yep.
same fucking video. That would have been amazing.
Move, bitch. Get out the way, get out the way. And the last one is, I think you told me this before the show started. Do not despise the racketeer. Instead, despise his sport.
In a nutshell, maybe paraphrasing a bit, but yeah, I did.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. I wanted to do the show in Morse code, but John didn't let me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Are you gonna explain what the Morse code is, or?
No. Mira, we have this saying in Puerto Rico, el que sabe, sabe.
El que sabe, sabe. Absolutely.
Sí.
So yeah, so that became a meme a few years ago, and you would just take a song, make it unnecessarily complex and Shakespearean, put it on homie's face, and you got yourself comedy. And it's been done with just about every song out there. Some are easier to guess than other.
Sandy understood the Morse code. It's a gift.
Right. And but yeah, no. So I mean, as far as
Y el que no sabe se lo inventa.
that's true. Absolutely. So yeah,
What
and
else you got? This is good. This is good.
so this guy, and just going on him a little more, he was like super famous and was the first to do that shit. Just
But he
focusing
will
on
only paint himself.
he wouldn't only paint himself, but that's what he's most well known for. Because he was known as the Pontre de la Reine, which is like first painter to the queen. So he made portraits of the royal family. Like he lived off this shit.
How do you say it again?
My French isn't fluent, pero Pontre de la Reine.
It sounds like a shampoo without it.
It's like, yeah, Pontre de la Reine, new, now with extra conditioner with mango oil and essential whatever the fuck.
Feel like
Right. So moving on here, we got the. Okay,
okay, but let me ask you a quick question.
what up?
How many did he did like a lot of those things of those self-portrait thingies?
Yeah. Me personally, I've seen 4, maybe 5, but he did do a lot because
Because if he did a lot, how come we haven't seen more of them?
That's a good question. I don't. Aside from that meme that I've shared with you, I'm not sure why he's not more famous. But he okay, it was his job. He lived off of it, and which is every artisan's dream, right? But not only was it his job, it was his passion. Maybe not to the extent of Leonardo da Vinci, but he did have a fascination with like just facial muscles. So like he wouldn't just make portraits. He's actively studying how the face works, how the muscles do all these weird faces and shit like that.
Which is a pain in the ass.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
To me, it's a real. I hate doing portraits. I hate doing faces. I always have one hand that looks better than the other if I do hands, if I'm drawing hands and stuff like that. And it's usually the left hand that comes out really well because you can look at it.
Yeah, that's
sure.
true.
Okay, I got it like this, but I'm right-handed. When it comes to the right hand, oh shit.
Yeah.
But you still, you can finagle it. But the face has. You're like, okay, you have your forehead, you have your cheeks, you have your chin, you have your nose, you have your eyes, you have your eyebrows, you have your mouth, okay, whatever. But within all of that, you have so many crevices and details, and depending how detailed you want to be, the pores, the hairs, the shading here, but the light here, but then you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And
It's work.
it is, and because not just that, because you can make it as detailed and realistic as you want, or as cartoony as you want, and at the same time, what matters is capturing like the essence of who it is that you're drawing. Because
And
I can.
what we said earlier, capturing an emotion,
Hmm.
and not just that, but portraying it,
Hmm.
further along is a pain in the ass. It's not easy.
It really is.
At
Yeah,
least for
because
me, it's never been easy for me. You tell me, yo, let's do some bubble letters, let's do some wild style, let's do some paper letters, let's go bombing someplace, you know what I mean? Just tagging up, and I come out with 1,000 different letters, no doubt, all day.
yeah.
Anything that has to do with painting the human body is really, really difficult.
And that's potential for a future episode too, because there have been a lot of theories as to psychological reasons why you're an artist, but you're somehow good at this one thing, this one aspect, and bad at another. Um, you know who was
Like
really
an
good?
actual biological reason for it, or psychological.
Psychological. You know who was really good at painting landscapes and architectures, but couldn't draw faces to save his life?
Bob Ross?
Hitler.
Really?
Yeah. He applied for art school before he got in the army, and
No, I say Bob Ross because I have never seen Bob Ross do anything other than landscape.
that's actually a good point. I don't think I've seen him do portraits either. Yeah, but yeah, Hitler applied to like art school and shit before he got in the military, and he submitted a few landscape paintings, and they looked cool. They looked nice, but he couldn't draw portraits. He just can't capture faces for some reason. So, that just begs the question, like, we're all artists, we're all trained more or less in the same way. Why are you good at calligraphy and graffiti? Why am I good at, cartooning and
Well,
inking?
depending, because I have had conversations with people,
Mm,
and it's more like in that text, in that context, in that experience, with them, it's been more like we've gotten the same tools, but
hmm
not the same training.
hmm
Because it's somebody, though everybody has to know how to move a pencil, no
Sure,
matter what your medium. You know how to put a basic sketch down.
exactly.
But a cartoonist is not going to teach you to sketch the same way a graffiti artist is, the same way an oil guy, the same way an architect.
Hmm
It's still a pencil, how to use a pencil and understanding the line, which, guys, is one of the most, if not the most important thing in art, understanding the line.
Exactly.
So everybody's going to understand the line and what it's used for, but everybody's going to use it differently.
Exactly. And the line is infinite. It could be anything and nothing all at once. Like, absolutely. And so yeah, that's definitely one thing to consider. And but yeah, and so yeah, like I was saying, this guy, he was just completely obsessed with seeing how facial muscles worked, and he didn't take it to the point where Da Vinci would take it, where he would like beg for morticians to give him corpses so he could like dissect them and literally see how shit works. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
he wasn't quite that scientific with it, but he was like super interested with it. And
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
I am surprised we don't see more of him.
yeah, I
Because if
don't
that's
know.
what he's known for, true, it's an implication. But if that's what he's known for, it implies that that's the majority of his work.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least the ones he
So
was.
instead of having to look, maybe, scattered, maybe one or two museums have one or two articles of his. Every museum that has something of his should have two or three.
Right, exactly. But yeah, that's something to definitely take a look at. And
Interesting. What else you got? What else you got? What else you got, John?
so you know how nowadays you don't know what motherfuckers really look like because of all the filters and the shit that Snapchat and Instagram and all that makes you do.
You mean they don't really look like what they look like on their pages. No,
No, they really don't. Ain't that shit
no.
crazy? Yeah, that's crazy, right?
People are
So
living fake lives on social media.
yeah, they really are. Yeah,
No, John, how dare you? What the fuck is that?
yeah. So for the few people that somehow have been living under a rock and have no clue what I'm talking about, here's an example. What she really looks like on the left, and then with some digital magic and the filters, that's what
Now, how
she looks.
surprised would you be if you actually meet that person and she looks like on the right
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised.
with the same 2D flower and everything?
Right. It's like why are you rendered differently from like what's around you? I don't like this. Like the glitch in the matrix.
You know what this reminds me of? I'm sorry, we'll go back to what you were about to say in a
Yeah,
second.
no doubt, no
But
doubt.
this reminds me of there was a painting that needed renovation, and they got this person to renovate it, and it looked like not just a kindergartner did it, but a kindergartner did it with finger paints and his ass.
Yeah. I know
Like,
it.
like he literally, I'm sorry, guys. We already put up the disclaimer. Kiss my ass. It
Yeah.
looked like the kid put finger paint on his butt cheeks and just started twerking on the shit, and
Hmm.
then went, okay, book. They're the two eyes.
I know. I know
You know which
exactly.
one I'm saying, right? I think it was in
There,
the church or some shit like that.
there's at least two that fit the exact description you're talking about. But finger painting, twerking, exactly like you're saying it. There's at least two that come to mind. I know exactly what you're talking about. Fuck.
Where they fixed it, and it still looks like it's running.
Yo, I don't mind going on a tangent. Hold on.
Let me tell you, when I saw that in the newspapers, my heart stopped. I was like, no, no, they did not do that. If somebody who's watching this can get this up into the comments before John finds it, tell them exactly which one it is. Oh my goodness, it was just absolutely horrible. Please find it. Please. Tech gremlins, fuck off. Let my man find this thing. People have to see this in case they haven't.
Yep.
And if you
There's
have,
so
you're not gonna sleep tonight.
so listen. There's a lot of examples, but here's one.
Worse than that one?
You tell me.
Oh my goodness, that's the one.
Is
That's
that
the
one?
one.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, they
Yeah.
fucked that shit
Yeah.
up, dude. They fucked that shit up.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do some. Can we switch genre to horror movie right now? Because this is gonna be horrible. Okay.
That hold on. What was that? That was Canvas, right?
Yes. So okay. So this is originally what it looked like after time went by and the quality went down, shit started peeling, et cetera, right? Um, when they were a little too overzealous, I guess, with the chemicals and shit, so they fucked it up, man.
So
And
that's how that happened.
that's how that happened. So it got like this. So they were like, "Oh, no
Yeah,
problem."
hold on. Let me ask you a quick question. When they use these chemicals, does it like take off brush layer by brush layer? Does it like reverse engineer the paint?
No,
Or does it
because
just take off whatever it comes in contact with? Does there have to
exactly
be friction in order? I know I'm asking a whole lot of shit. It's always
all of the above. Because you have a painting,
right.
you paint Sandy. She looks beautiful. It's amazing,
Of
and
course.
you're done. Awesome. Time goes by. You got that painting somewhere. I don't know. Time goes by. Eventually, you're gonna have the moisture in the air chemically affects the paint that you use. You're gonna have layers of dust, layers of actual dirt. You know what I'm saying? As people talk and they spit and they make the moisture go up or whatever. So it's like 101 different things, and especially as 100 years go by, 200 years go by. So you get this like just layers upon layers of shit and grind and just crap all up on your shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sandy still looks good, but not like she did 250 years ago when you finished it. You feel me? So
You heard
the,
that, baby? You're not gonna look the same in 250 years.
get yourself a better painter. Let me do it anyway. So what those chemicals do is that they take out those layers.
Right now I'm hoping the door doesn't fly open. Go ahead.
But You know what those chemicals do is they take out those layers of the dirt and the grime and all that stuff. And you know,
They can
like
talk a lot more than that.
that's what I'm saying. It's like imagine this like you're shaving, okay? You're going to a party and you need to shave. You shave all of the hair on your face and you're done. What happened here is the equivalent of you continuing to shave until like you have a hole in your cheek and I can see your teeth. You feel me? That's basically what happened. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, it's all good. We got,
It
you know what
looked
I'm
like it
saying?"
was splattered.
Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, we got painters that can fix it." And then yeah. Yeah, get in there, Joey. Come on, get in there.
My man, I've got nothing. That thing looks fucking horrible, bro. That I don't it I have nothing.
Yeah, they are.
You put that in front of a CD in Insidious 3. There you go, man. You making bank, B. That shit is horror.
And it's funny
Horror.
and it's funny because this reminds me of when I was in college. I was taking an art history class, and we were looking at a before and after of a painting that got restored, right? And they did a fantastic job. Like the painting looked absolutely brilliant. But there was a little bit of controversy because some areas were painted on, so it's not paint that was originally, you know, on the painting. So people were saying, "Oh, it's not the same painting anymore. You ruined it. It's not the same thing." And then I look at shit like this, and it's like, yeah, I would have been okay with shit like that happening. Yeah,
Yes,
that's straight up.
it does look like nightmare fuel.
That is 100% nightmare fuel. Absolutely. So I guess that would be the opposite of a filter, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that is the opposite of a filter. So the whole concept of filters make yourself look more ideal than what you really look like. That's been going on for ages. And let me give you a quick example here.
Let me throw something in the pot real quick.
No doubt.
An artist like that other one that specialized in doing his selfies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would it be well? It'll be strange regardless, but strange to hear of an artist that starts off with his face, bam. Okay, now I'm gonna make it a little fatter. I'm gonna age him here, age him there. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's very close to a filter. I'm gonna start. Sculptors do it. We're gonna
Yeah.
start with the basic face. Boom. Now let's add some weight in the cheeks. Let's bring this here. Let's give it an overbite.
Yeah.
Has that happened in the older art world?
That has definitely happened, and it actually has a name. It's called, well, depending what you're doing, but it's either idealism or surrealism. Surrealism is just like anything that you could see in a dream. It's realistic in the sense that I know what this is, but I know it doesn't belong in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So shit you're describing. So if I draw a portrait of you with your face melting, oh, it looks like your face is melting. It's cool. It's realistic. You know, CGI in a Marvel movie, whatever. But I know that's not something that would happen in real life. So that would be surrealism. Now, keeping with the theme of what I'm talking about, and to further answer your question, the other side of that coin is idealism, and it's been going on literally since like forever. Make shit look better than what it really is. Idealism encourages imagination and attempts to realize a mental conception of beauty, a standard of perfection. So, yeah, you don't have a six pack, but that portrait of yourself does. That's idealism, or you just got fat after that thing got made. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
but man, your abs are fucking bulletproof. Shut up. So fucking that's been going on, and that's been going on literally forever because we have no idea how certain historical people really looked, like for real, for real. Um, we now in a lot of cases there's an agenda, a political agenda or what have you.
So hold on. So most of the images that we think these artists look like, there's a possibility they were completely different.
Yes,
We're just getting the promotion, the flyer, the commercial. This is what I want you to see of me.
yes, and that applies even more to certain
Kind of
historical
messed up.
figures.
There's some artists that painted themselves to look like some ugly motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. We'll never really know, and that applies to a lot of historical figures, not just like artists themselves. Like, especially the further back you go. Like, if you want to talk about pharaohs and shit, if you want to talk about Cleopatra or whatever, we have no idea what they fucking look like. We got statues of, like, from their tombs or whatever. Like, oh, okay, whatever. But we really have no idea, to be totally honest. That's why I have this fascination with, like, they they do like scans of mummies without physically touching the corpse. They do 3D scans and X-rays of the mummy, and they do a 3D approximation of like what the person looked like. That's kind of how we discovered that Cleopatra was kind of ugly. Yeah, Cleopatra was actually kind of ugly.
What you were saying, what we already talked about, like besides the filters, like the food selfies and the especially the selfies,
Hmm.
because this is interesting. Have there been any sculptors to do that? Like
Yeah,
make
yeah.
themselves.
Um,
To me, that's also I love everything about art, because I always find stuff like this is difficult. How did you work your brain around it? And a lot of times that artist's brain doesn't even notice that there's supposed to be a barrier there. Like, you'll ask him, you mean you can't fucking do this? So
exactly.
you're used to doing this, but when you sculpt, it's opposite. Unless you stand behind it and you start filling up the rock and shit like that, and
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, because idealism isn't exclusive to painting. It's not exclusive to any particular art genre. There have definitely been statues made of people that they were depicted taller than they are. They were depicted more fit than they are, etc. And that's also true with
you mean so like
mythological.
Lincoln Memorial, he wasn't that tall?
Like who?
The Lincoln Memorial, I'm being a dick, man.
No, he wasn't that tall. He wasn't fucking 20 feet tall. He was like 18 feet, not counting the hat. But so, and that also applies to historical figures. Like, we have no idea what David from the Bible looked like. David and Goliath. We have no idea if he even existed. But I mean, you look at Michelangelo's David, and he made him look that way for a specific reason. That's what's considered ideal at the time. That's what's considered beautiful. Um, and everything has a purpose and it has an agenda. And that's just how it is with the with filters nowadays. Like, motherfuckers are self-conscious, overly self-conscious, and they're just afraid to put their real face out there.
So how much of what we see today that's considered art? Because under everything that we've talked about, like, and what was mentioned earlier in the comments, planking, taking a picture of you planking can be considered art. How much of what's out today do you consider actually, yeah, man, with the thing with the food, I already said it. Taking pictures of the food, unless it's a memorable moment,
Yeah.
or you cook the food, I wouldn't put it in the same category of art as painting still life. You made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, it's like I've said time and time again. Art is literally anything that can evoke an emotional response from you.
give me 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. So art is literally anything that can evoke an emotional response from you. So if you look at something and you feel disgust, if you whether it's the point of the thing or not, uh, is a success. If you look at something and it makes you feel happy, again, whether it's the point of the thing or not, it's a success. Now, the artist's ego comes into place because if the artist is like, oh, I want this to make you feel happy, but it actually made you feel sad. So I feel bad about it, blah, blah, blah. So that's a factor. But ultimately, whether it's the artist,
The older the art, the darker it seems.
not always, maybe in my examples, but
It's like sometimes you walk through a museum and it's like reading the vocero. You know what the vocero is?
what, no.
Those people out there who are watching this who know what the vocero is, holla over in the comment section. The vocero is all right. There's a saying in Puerto Rico. They say if you grab that newspaper, it's the name of a newspaper, and they say if you grab the newspaper and twist it, blood comes out.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much like accidents and killings and this and that, and it's as dark can fucking be.
Yeah.
That's the vocero. So sometimes you'll go through big sections of museums and see nothing but canvases and dark and dark and dark and this guy dead and fuck this guy can kiss my ass. Like, oh shit. So you finally get to the still life and it's like, oh, this is wonderful.
Breath of fresh air, yeah.
Yeah, and then 2 canvases in, it's still life, but everything's fucking putrefying and maggots and shit.
In a lot of cases, portraits are like that because they want you to focus specifically on the person being depicted. So you do a painting of a person, a portrait, and the background is dark. You're gonna focus exclusively on the portrait, which is the entire point of the thing. Mm-hmm. So, but that's more of a visual agenda.
You know what? Graph does that a lot also.
Yeah.
You want a ridiculous contrast between two things to make it stand out.
Exactly.
And it can be 2D. It doesn't have to be liquid style. It doesn't have to be 3D. It can be just 2D bubble letters.
Exactly, yeah. And there are other ways to do it, like complementary colors and shit. Use your greens to make your red pop or vice versa.
Joey says here, I think it's the tortured artist type thing.
Yeah, there are a few like Picasso went through a depression for a while because of like his friend killing himself and a bunch of things. So a lot of his paintings for that period were like blue or with hues of blue. So that's certainly a thing. That is a case. And you remember how earlier we were talking about symbolisms and sometimes how shit gets lost and it just gets really fucking annoying. Picasso used to carry around a gun with blanks so that when somebody would ask him the symbolism and the meaning of one of his paintings, he would like shoot it over their head. He won't even answer their question. He's like, stop asking me stupid shit. Just look at the thing. Tell me how it makes you feel. Yeah, but what's the symbolism behind the He would just shoot him. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, it does get annoying. You have a blank piece of paper, you have a yellow line and a red line. Oh my goodness, he's talking about the economic state of the Philippines.
Right.
Where the fuck did you get that? You know?
Exactly. So look at this example of pre-Facebook filters. So both are the same person. They're a painting of Napoleon Bonaparte. On the left, it was made by an unknown artist, and he was 16 years old. Notice the Romanesque nose, right? And on the right, he was much older, and this painting was made by Antoine Jean Gros. And Exactamente, le finó la nariz. So that Romanesque arch or bridge, rather, it's gone. Now, they didn't have plastic surgery back then like they do now. So Napoleon did not get a nose job. He did not pull a Michael Jackson. He just had the magical power, the ability of telling the painter, make it look how I say, because I'm fucking paying you. Like that's literally his ability. And it's been done a gajillion times. This is nothing new. And in a lot of cases when
you know what, that in itself is very complex. Yeah, keep the face exactly how it is, except for this.
Yeah, that takes skill, no doubt.
And still make everything fall into proportion.
Yeah.
Woof.
And here's a funny.
You think that's preparation or just natural talent?
Both. Well, yeah, I would lean more towards preparation because I'm on the school of thought that practice makes perfect. I mean, being born with a talent, I mean, that could be its own discussion in of itself. But hard work trumps natural talent, and if you combine both, that's really how you get up there.
Definitely.
And here's a funny thought experiment. Back in those days, in medieval times, um, when nobles and royalty were courting each other from long distances. So I like Shorty who lives 3 countries away, and to get a message, I have to wait 3 months, right?
Go ahead. I think I know where this is going. Go ahead.
I need to know what Shorty looks like. I'm not trying to waste my time over here with no ugly bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they were thinking. So they would hire artists to do a quick sketch. Nothing, no big oil painting that I'm showing you or whatever. Just a nice sketch, a nice pencil sketch, right? And they would take that portrait literally on just a normal piece of paper and put that shit with the love letters and whatever. So I'm a noble in John Landia,
I'm
and
laughing because there must have been at least one asshole that be like, yeah, here's the head, here's what I look like, and then unroll a scroll. This is the rest of me. You know what I'm saying?
right. So that's basically where I was going. How many times do you think Shorty looks like a 10 on the sketch, but in real life she's a 7? Yeah.
So it's not a social media thing. It's just
It's a human thing. We I mean, at the end of the day,
well,
we're
that's what
social.
art is supposed to do. It's supposed to express our life,
The,
humans, earthlings, everything that's around us, our thoughts, our emotions.
it's supposed to express the universal human experience. There are things that you, as a Puerto Rican living in Puerto Rico, will never experience compared to an Egyptian living 3,000 years ago. You just won't, and vice versa. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. And we can go all day with the examples, but there are certain things that no matter the time period, no matter the place, no matter the gender, the age, the whatever, there are certain things that are universal. And successful art, it tries to bring that into play, or at the very least, make you realize certain things that you really don't think about.
Now,
So
are there certain aspects that you can see, certain details and be like, okay, this guy got it, or is it still boils down to the eye of the beholder?
I mean, it does. It depends what you're looking for
Oh
because
God, now you're getting like Joel.
I'm trying not to because that's I mean, Joel cornered that market, bro. I'm not trying to, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I don't want to step on nobody's toes. That's all him. Um, but like, it depends if you look at it purely aesthetic wise. Oh, this looks nice. I like it or dislike it because of A, B, or C. It depends if you look at it through a historical context. It depends if you look at it through a scholarly context or even an artistic context. I don't like this painting, pero coñazo, está bien hecho. It's very well made. This technique, this over here, beautiful. I would teach it to a student the exact same way, but I don't like it. That's just ugly. You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends how you look at it.
That's something that if whoever's watching, if you think differently, this is something good. I'd like you to share with us. That's something that graffiti doesn't do very often. And that thing is looking back at older styles, quote unquote styles, or
Mm-hmm.
methods, or colors, or color patterns, and whatever, and saying, and still seeing it up to par with what's going on today. It's very few artists that can do something 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and you look at it today and be like, yeah, that still goes head to head with anything that's around.
Mm. That's
You
interesting
have somebody
because
like Gandhi.
mhm.
Uh, that was even before my time. That was just a few more years before my time. Dandy, one of the veterans of hitting the trains in NYC,
Mhm.
top to bottom, side to side, big yellow letters, black fucking bubbles. Dandy.
Mhm.
Though the letters itself, if it's a throw up, they'll go up to par. Lee is known for hitting big ass walls, the handball walls and stuff like that. The first one to do like an actual whole piece with background and b-boy and letters and all this, and all props to the veteran, may he rest in peace. Nowadays, it won't pass. What was looked at as the grand master back in the days, nowadays in graffiti, you see it without knowing who that name is, and you be like, he's starting off, let's help him out.
Mm,
You
I
know what I'm
see.
saying? But when
Yeah.
it comes to other stuff, oh my goodness, don't even get me. Hold on. John Wizzy had to throw up the phase two. Phase two is my dude.
Hmm.
Phase two is my dude. And I started developing my style, and I didn't even know who phase two was. And when I saw him, it was like, oh shit, this looks what I'm doing. Let me see if I can show you a quick example. Boom, right here. Shit. Here we go.
Yeah.
See those letters on the top where it's a whole bunch of smaller designs put
Hmm.
together to create one? My man will fill up the whole wall, top to bottom, side to side.
Hmm.
So he is definitely, yes, John Wampe, yo, John Wizzy, my dude. You know me, dude. That's why we're twins, bro. Yeah, that word is bond. That is a dude that till this day, you pull out his shit, you show him, and people gonna be like, mm, mm. 5 minutes later, they're like, no, 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 wait, why you turning the page?
Hmm.
There's so much to see in there.
That what
But
you
it's very few. You could pull out like a handful out of every decade.
that makes me think because when you compare that to painters and people that play classical music, it feels like it's the opposite. Like painters are like, yes, I finally reached the levels of the old masters. You want to be like Da Vinci and Rembrandt and Goya, people who have been dead for centuries. And like we went to a symphony.
Ya tiene que ser bueno.
Exactamente. And me and you, we went to that symphony a few years ago. And if you think about it, every single like orchestra or symphony, they're all like Beethoven cover bands, technically, if you think of, you know what I'm saying? So and then you have graffiti artists, and you tell me you guys don't have that mentality, like
I mean, don't get
for
me
the most
wrong.
part.
You'll give the artist their respect,
No
their
doubt, no
props,
doubt, no doubt,
for real. You know
no
what I
doubt,
mean? And you'll get mad and get physical if somebody disrespects them, even though you just met them.
no doubt,
You know what I'm saying? That much that does reign true in the hip hop community, in the graffiti community.
no
But
doubt.
actually look at 20, 30-year-old letters and be like, yeah, man, I can do something kind of like that. Let me throw that up because that's still up to date.
I feel you.
Graph is always on the next level, always looking for the next level, and they forget about levels like this, bro.
I feel it.
Go ahead, man. What's this?
And now we're gonna move on to our final topic, fake news, popularized by former President Trump. Shit you see in the media that does not match with shit you see with your eyes. You feel me? For better or for worse. That's nothing new either. That is nothing new either. So this guy right here is he was a pope, Pope Julius II. This was painted by Raphael. Now, this one was a big deal because the any portrait of a pope, they were always the same, kneeling in prayer. You see the side of his face, or he's looking towards heaven. But this is the first portrait where it's very like earthly. He's chilling on a chair, and he's chilling. Está tranquilito. He's just calm and serene.
See, I don't see chilling. I see him. Well, like I said, from over here in the studio, it looks really small. But from
Mhm.
here, I mean, zoom in on his face real quick.
Yeah, no
It looks
doubt.
like he's just hastiado, like he's just tired of somebody's bullshit. Nah, bro, he's tired. Somebody talking shit, and he just like, seeing
Well,
right through, like, oh my fucking
it's
goodness.
it's funny it's funny you mentioned that. So okay, so this was meant to depict him as, serene, calm, just thinking about the bird.
Juan Peyo has a question. We're gonna get back to Juan. We're gonna get to you real quick, Wizzy. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
No doubt, I'm gonna definitely jump on that one. So this sort of thing was unheard of. Now the reason it's fake news and the reason this was made specifically to soften his image. Pope Julius II was known as Papa Terrible and the warrior Pope, because anytime you presented him a problem, 9 out of 10 times he's like, war, let's do war. Oh, the Muslims want to war, let's do war.
Really?
So the Jewish tribes on the boundary on the border, they kind of war, let's do war. So he was he was hated and he was terrible.
He was a warmongering Pope.
A warmongering holy man, sure. And he knew this, but he was a shrewd politician. He knew propaganda works.
How many holy men are warmongers?
Oh yeah, I have a book called the Bad Popes, talking just about that, and it's a tough read, but it is a good read though.
Well, that explains the look on his face. I don't think it's fake news, because now it makes sense. He's just looking like, yeah, you can plead all you want, dude.
Exactly.
These niggas
and
up.
I want to get to your friend's question, but first this Napoleon style. There's a picture of, everyone's seen it, Napoleon up on the horse like this, looking
Okay,
over.
we're not gonna get to the question yet.
In 2 seconds.
Okay.
But you see how he said Napoleon style?
Yeah, it keeps coming up.
Everybody's seen the picture, the portrait of Napoleon, all heroic on the horse. It looks like he's commanding the wind and shit. That was propaganda. That trip, he made it on a donkey. Yeah, so fake news is not new news.
On an ass?
An ass on an ass, exactly.
They usually charge double for that.
The Mona Lisa was a big deal because ironically enough, not because of her, but because of what's behind her. It was one of the most realistic and proportionate portraits made at the time, because Da Vinci didn't worry so much about making it ideal, about making it look how it should look. He made it look how it looked, which was a big deal, and that level of realism was unheard of. And on top of that, on the background, that was the first recorded instance of a technique called atmospheric perspective. Atmospheric perspective means it's dark outside, but if you get up early in the morning, go outside and look off towards the horizon. The further away shit gets to the horizon, the bluer it gets. The mountains and the trees all the way back there, that 45-minute drive, they're bluish. And the closer it gets, the closer to its real color that it gets. He did that, and that was the first recorded instance of that.
What's that called again?
Atmospheric perspective.
Okay. I did that once. In our first apartment, we took the wall that led to the bathroom. We closed the door and we painted the whole thing underwater.
Yeah. Which
was funny because people who had never visited the apartment were just feeling up the wall trying to find the fucking doorknob to the bathroom, and they're pissing themselves and ¿Dónde carajo está para abrir la puerta, me meo, puñeta? You know what I'm saying? And I remember doing that, taking the middle, around the middle of the wall, and just painting a thin line as dark of a blue as I could get.
Yeah.
In between all the other shades of blue, and it immediately made everything look like this.
Exactly. So, admittedly, he didn't really utilize blue all that much in the Mona Lisa, but the technique, it todavía funciona. And on top of that, yeah.
Sandy's grandpa was one of the ones looking for the door.
Oh, terrible. And also, a lot of people don't know, but historians, they take the Renaissance and they chop it into two sections. You have the early Renaissance and you have the high Renaissance. And most historians agree that the year the Mona Lisa was finished is when the high Renaissance starts. De ese punto para adelante.
Coincidence, or are they using for some reason that, the Mona Lisa to mark?
That's a good question because the technique and the first time that things were done and all that's all valid. That all makes sense. But at the same time, Da Vinci has such a ridiculous mainstream appeal. It's like, are they fanboying? You know what I'm saying? Are they just being fanboys, or are they really putting those
So
PhDs
that's a
together?
good question to put out there to the graph writers and the people who love graffiti. Okay, so do we start counting stuff in pre-Dame and post-Dame? Do you know who Dame is?
You've told me
Oh,
once or twice. I
motherfucker,
think
that's a whole nother podcast, Papa. We can go on for the longest with just the 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 whole idea of painting and drawing 3D, three dimensions, just took graffiti to a new level.
Yeah,
It also took movies and stuff like Pixar to a new level because lo and behold, a lot of their original artists used to do graph.
exactly. And it was during the High Renaissance, thanks a lot to Da Vinci, that we started using 1 point
Yep.
perspective, two
There
point
you go. He
perspective.
raised the bar.
Exactly.
Definitely. Dame definitely raised the bar.
Exactly. And that sort of thing happened around the same time period too. Instead of putting shit on a flat surface, you have 1 point perspective and things go into the background and all that, and you get that 3D effect. And and here we have Jesus. Jesus wasn't white. That's fake news. And a lot of people think that the common depiction of white Jesus is a guy called Cesare Borgia, who was also the son of a corrupt pope and just a rich brat, basically. Um,
Son of a pope.
exactly.
Okay, I didn't know they were supposed to. They could have.
Son of a corrupt pope. Okay, he had a wife and a favorite whore. He was a warmonger too. He was so fucking hated that when they buried him, they okay, they did the ritualistic putting him in
So he
a.
was a pinky. He was a pinky of the Vatican.
What do you mean a pinky?
Pinky. Hey man, calm down. I got a girlfriend. I got a wife on the side.
Yo, you have no idea, and he was just like losing his mind and shit. He was a trip. He was so fucking hated that they put him in. Okay, he died. They put him in the tomb in order to have mass and pay their final rites. When that shit's done, he was supposed to be buried, right? They left him there, and his corpse got like bloated and shit, and was like the lid of the tomb was like coming up and shit. It was they just left him there. Fuck that guy.
Wow.
And they believe that the common depictions of Jesus are like his son, and that's a whole agenda, like why they show white Jesus and all that. And I also want to show you. Have you heard the term deep fake?
No, I heard it.
Um,
Man,
there are there are a lot of videos
there's
where,
nothing fake about that one, man.
no doubt, there are a lot of AI/CGI generated videos where they almost perfectly put the face of another person on another person, not in pictures, because I can do that in Photoshop in 10 minutes, but in video. So
Okay, what's that called?
deep fake, it's all one word, deep fake, deep
Okay.
fake videos. So, I've seen some videos that were actually funny. Like they have the face of
Is this
Green
like
Go-
one of those things where they put like a Scarlett Johansson on a porno or some shit like that? And
Right, yeah, but there are also some funny examples where I saw one with is it William Dafoe, Green Goblin? Like his face on the face of like the girl from Dirty Dancing, and like her expressions, he matches it, and like it looks like, okay, he wasn't in that movie, he wasn't dressed as a bitch, but it looks so like creepily realistic. And it's a thing now, and it just makes people think like, is this gonna make facial recognition obsolete? The potential for like fraud and fake shit is just terrifying to even think about, and nothing is new about that shit either. Because one example of that would be this little one here. Boom. Have you ever seen that before?
No, but it looks like Shelley Long playing olive oil in the original Popeye movie.
All right. My girl actually likes this painting a lot, but this one is called "Girl with a Pearl Earring" by Johannes Vermeer.
What happened to the other pearl?
It's on the other ear that you can't see because that's a 3/4 view. Come on, basic. Anyway, this is because of deep fake. This is technically not a portrait, and it's also technically not a deep fake because it's not video. Portraits capture the appearance of a specific person. This is called a tronie. A tronie is someone that is intentionally designed to not look like a specific person or like she belongs in any specific place. So it's like if I tell you right now, Joey, draw me a Puerto Rican woman from memory. Go. You have 10 minutes. Maybe she'll look a little like your mom here, a little like Sandy there, but it's a made-up person that came from here. That's essentially what this is. And for the longest time, people are like, "Who is this model? Who is that? Was that his lover? Who is that?"
Cincinnati Museum?
I believe so, actually. Yeah, I think it is. It should still be there. It's one of those that like gets rotated and shit, but I think it is in the Cincinnati Museum.
So they made this face up. It's amazing.
Yeah, they made that face up. It's not meant to be a specific person, and it's not meant to belong in a specific time period.
I'm still waiting for her to go Popeye.
I wouldn't count on it, but yeah. So no, it just goes back to what I was saying. Just a lot of things that we consider modern, that we consider unique to our time period. It's been done several times. Like ain't shit new anymore. Ain't shit original for.
The only new thing is the medium.
Exactly. The only new thing is the medium and the audience that it reaches.
Kind of like us right here in Torre del Viejo, talking shit through a different medium, baby.
Yep, exactly.
We're going to close it up with that. We hit the end of our time. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out. Joey Zaza, I was the guest student because I learned a lot of shit. I was right here with y'all. John, thank you, man.
Hey, you're very welcome. It was fun. Definitely can't wait to do that again.
We got a lot more content coming up for you guys in these next weeks coming up. And hey, man, peace.
Peace out.